Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I thought that I would try some new products from Wet n Wild. If you guys are curious to see what I think and see these products in action, then just keep watching. And yes, I have a major breakout right here. I'm not sure what's going on. Something that I am using on my face at night is making me break out on my cheek, my forehead, and around my mouth. So I'm trying to figure that out. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but today I figured we would try these products. All right, so we have two kind of primary type products. The first is this powder. It says 5-in-1 Essence Primer and Finish Powder. Not finishing, finish powder. It says it smooths, conditions, refines pores, balances its pre and post makeup. So I'm not sure if this is like a putty or a powder, so we'll check that out. And then I also have the one silicone-free primer that does it all. This one, I've heard good things about this one as well. So let's check out the consistencies of these. Okay, first we have this one. Oh, okay. It's like it looks like a silicone-y type of product. So it's right here. It is very smoothing, it looks like. It's like a slight coconut or pineapple scent to it, but my pores are definitely blurred. I applied it to this half of my hand. This is without, that's with. It definitely did smooth and blur. So now let's check out this and see what this does. All right, and this is a, it's definitely a powder, but it feels a little bit damp to the touch. So I already did this side, so let's try it over here. It looks like a slightly illuminating translucent powder, surprisingly. This did not say illumination was one of its features, but it does look a little bit illuminating. I don't think I would use that as a primer, so why don't we try the Impossible Primer on the face and we will try this as a final step. It's so thick. All right, so this is the side with nothing, and this is the side with the primer. I'm not actually seeing any pore filling or smoothing on the face, like my pores are still very large around my nose. So perhaps that's where this guy comes in. I'm gonna try both of these on one side and see what kind of effect we get. I'm gonna try a puff and press it into the powder primer and see if that helps to fill in pores at all. Well, it definitely did. Okay, so this side has both the Impossible Primer Base, which felt like it did a lot on the back of my hand, but didn't seem to do much on the face. And then I put this one as a primer on top. I am curious to see how my liquid products are gonna go on top of it, but this did kind of smooth and fill in my pores here, especially. Interesting. So it took away shine, it mattified, it smoothed, and it refined pores. So we'll see. I'm going to hop off, apply some foundation, and we'll be back to try the eyeshadow and the setting spray. Okay, so I went ahead and applied the Yensa Skin on Skin BC foundation in the Fair and Light shades, and then a little bit of the Catrice True Skin Concealer in Cool Cashmere and the Joah Eye Serum Fairlight with Cool Undertones. So that's what I have on the face. Now, is there a difference from one side to the next? This is the side that had both the primers. I feel like my pores are a little bit smaller and a little bit more filled in right here. That's really the only difference I'm seeing. And this side has both of the smoothing primers. I'm not so sure that these do a whole lot, but this says it can be used as a finishing powder as well. So let's now see how it works as like a setting powder. I'm gonna use the same puff that I had before. I mean, you guys can see the line here from where I did not set to did. It definitely smoothed and blurred a lot. from one side to the next, this is definitely a smoothing and blurring powder. We'll see. I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of the face, but here is unset and this is set. Definitely smoothing. It can show up a little bit ashy and powdery if you apply too much of it. I definitely think I applied too much. This might be better applied with a fluffy brush than with like a makeup puff like this. So next that takes us to this Bloomin' the Wet n Wild Face Mist. This one is Miss Cherry Blossom, and before you shake it up it just looks clear, but there's a bunch of like shimmer pigment on the bottom. In the past I've loved some of the Wet n Wild setting sprays, like this Wet n Wild Jungle Rock one. I love this. Is my second bottle. You can see the pigment kind of settled on the bottom. This one's more of like a champagne shade. This one looks to be a bit peachier. So shaking up, this one's more champagne. This one looks a little bit more like peachy rosy tone. So we will see. I'm also curious to see if there's a fragrance. This is a limited edition one. I found it on a display. Let's see what the mist is like. Ooh. Well, it's very direct. It smells a little bit like cherries actually. All right, well, we'll see if it adds some life back to my skin here. Should I do half and half? Ooh, that is a very, very direct and forceful mist. I do not like that mister. Really pummels ya. It definitely gives you glow. I mean, you can see from side to side, we've got matte, no shine whatsoever, and then a couple of spritzes and you are glowy. So this is definitely giving you glow, but I don't like that mister. It's too intense. I just need to be farther away. Let me see. Oh boy. It's still intense. So as you can see, it definitely leaves the face with a lot of glow. So I'm gonna say probably a pass on this spritzer, but I might consider putting it in one of my Pixie bottles that I love the mister on. So I'm gonna go ahead and hop off, add some color to the face, and we'll be back to try the last product. So I was just applying bronzer, and look what happened. I went to put it on top of my cheek, and it grabbed in a really strange way. So it's either the powder or the setting spray that is not playing well with others. Look how patchy that is. This is the Physicians Formula bronzer. It's always beautiful. What is that? Okay, so while the bronzer did not sit well on top of either the setting spray or the essence powder, not sure which it is, so you may need to powder more on top of this in order for powders to blend well. I didn't really have any problem on my forehead, just right here it really clung. So perhaps I didn't powder enough back here, and then I tried to fix it and now it just looks kind of like a ashy mess. So we'll just cover that up with some hair. So now let's try this new palette. This is the Always Naked palette, and I've seen this at a few of my local CVS's. It looks really pretty. I know this is one of Taylor Wynn's like favorite go-tos. She takes it traveling. It does look like a really pretty palette. You have basically some neutrals, some inner corner brightening shades. You've got like a more mustardy color, a warmer brown, a reddish brown, and then these look more like, this one looks more like a purpley brown. This one's like a red brown. This looks like a cool brown. So it looks like you get a lot of neutrals from cool to neutral to warm, which seems really accommodating to everyone or everyone's preference. And then you have one like glitter shade, which looks pretty good actually. Interesting. Okay, I don't know that I'll be trying the glitter today just because no, look how flaky this is. It's flaking all over the place. Oh my, it's getting all over. All right, so maybe we won't be using the glitter in this palette because this is super, super messy. Yeah, super, super messy. I don't think I'll be using the glitter. But we can swatch some of these shades. So let's start with a creamy shade, the highlighting shade, another metallic. Let's try a deeper brown. These are very, very soft. So we had the first creamy shade, a highlighting shade. That's pretty. Ooh. Okay. These look very promising. This is the look I came up with using this palette. So let me show you what I did. First, I went in with this first shade all over the place, and these are a bit on the powdery side, just to be warned. Then I went in with this shade for the crease. I mean, look, they're very powdery. And then I went in with this warmer shade right here, like the outer half. And then I went in with these two darker shades just at the very outer corner. And then inner corner, I use this bright white, and then on the lid, I use the shade next to it. It's a really pretty flattering look, and I feel like you could get a lot of like bridal looks with this, like these metallics and then just neutrals. Really, really flattering, easy to use. Yes, a bit dusty, a bit crumbly, but I didn't have any fallout under the eyes. So this is pretty impressive. Okay, so final thoughts. I thought this Impossible Base Primer would be really great because of what it did on the back of my hand, but looking in the mirror, I'm not seeing a whole lot of difference from side to side, and that's with two smoothing bases on. I mean, it did smooth a little bit here, but I think more so that's the powder than the primer. So I don't know, I'm on the fence about that. This seems like a nice smoothing finishing powder, but I don't think that it's a setting powder. Just because things did not sit well on top of it, it's a smoothing finishing powder, but you still need something to set down your wet products. Otherwise, you're gonna have this situation on your hands. The setting spray, this mist is way too intense, but I like the product. Like, my face has a nice glow to it, but I would definitely have to put this in a different bottle. It was just way too intense. In the Always Naked palette, I see what all the hype is about. This is a really nice palette, and I am excited to continue using it. So all in all, I found two products that I'm excited to continue trying. One that I need to repackage, and one that I just honestly don't know about. So let me know if you've tried any of these products. What are your thoughts? I am curious to hear. If you agree, disagree, let me know down below. But I hope you guys enjoyed and found this helpful. If you did, remember to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.